wanatupiga tear gas and they want to kill us. We
do not even have to.
They are just gagging us.
Criminals pretending to be peaceful protesters can rain terror against the people.
I was on these very same streets covering the June 25th protest anniversary when I exposed goons beating civilians in front of police officers who at that time didn't do anything. Now that video went viral, and I remember a couple of elected officials reposted my video and said that journalists like myself need to be charged with terrorism for inciting chaos. And I found that as ridiculous, for lack of a better word, because I am not a terrorist. But for me, it was just a simple tweet. Tens of others actually around the same time were charged with terrorism charges, and their lives have actually never been the same again.
Tension continues to mount in Kiambu County following the detention of Wanjiku Piga, the DCP National Youth Coordinator.
So that is the information you give young people. Mkiambia wenda chukue kura, unawaambia kwenye IBC constituency offices, because we have a lot of first time voters, 18 and above. So hawajui kwenye wataenda kuchukua kura. So muambie this is the building when wataenda kuchukua kura. Tunasikiza ground. We scrubbed pavements, we washed blankets for wakubwa.
Yeah.
We used to call them madams, they're called madams.
Yeah.
Yes, and fetching water from far and bringing them back.
So when you're doing all these chores in the in the prison, were you thinking, how did I get here?
Yeah, especially being in Langata Maximum Prison and in the uniform. Oh my God, you're like, my God, I'm in a uniform. My God, I'm incarcerated.
Yeah.
And you see, you meet other women who are incarcerated too, and they're like, oh, I'm here for 15 years, I'm here for, and then they're like, oh, you're the guys with the terrorism charges, oh, you'll be here for 15 years.
When I mentioned to someone that, as I was looking for your contact, and I said, I'm probably going to be speaking to Wanjiku, they said that actually an ambassador from whatever country they didn't want to name was supposed to be on the same panel with you.
Yeah.
You seem like you have an idea, or no?
Yeah, I know.
You know, and they decided they're not going to be on the same panel with
sure.
Wanjiku because you've
I'm
been
a
labeled.
terrorist.
What did you think of that?
The first time I asked myself, so this is how my life is going to be. And I'm afraid of my family, I'm afraid, to even date. Because, now this is another person coming into your life, and now they also, their life changes for them. So it's made me feel like just become a loner.
Have you had a moment where you realize I'm actually being followed or I'm under surveillance?
Yeah.
How so?
On my phone.
Yeah.
They tap my phone. They tap my mother's phone as well.
How do you know they're tapping?
My mom tells me I can hear people on the other end. And also another thing that I went through after my terrorism charges is that I ran a CBO and my funding was withdrawn.
What's a CBO for someone who doesn't know?
This is a community-based organization that tends to work around the lived realities of the community that we live in.
So how much did you lose in funding for the square reason that you were labeled as a terrorist?
I lost 3.5 million. And that was, an initial funding. We were to work together as we built up to 2027.
Yeah.
But they withdrew.
For what reason did this NGO say they're not funding you anymore?
Oh, they said the process has been competitive and unfortunately, you're not shortlisted. It was hysterical because I had gone through all the processes and we had done inception meetings and we had done even the do no harm training.
So you're just about to sign the contract,
Yeah.
and then they pulled back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are terrorists. I think they are terrorists, not criminals.
Today is the 21st of September 2025. That means it's 12 years since the Westgate shopping mall attack. I remember I was just 21 at the time and I was an intern, and that was basically the first story that I ever covered. I was at KTN at the time, and it's also the very first time that I came to understand the acts of terrorism, the acts of a terrorist, and the impact it had. I remember making a live phone call report and saying, I can confirm to you that at least one person has died. And that has never left me. I cannot imagine what people who are there or who have lost someone, some of whom are going to come here today, actually experienced.
We come here each and every year, at least to come and remember Meli Gloria Atamba Selete, who was my younger sister, a best friend. I remember that day very well because both of us, we've been retailers, and I was at TRM, somebody's store, just a personal store. And for her, she was working for Little Souls at Westgate. So we had an on communication. It's 11, she hasn't called me. And I called her more than 10 times. Then a colleague of mine comes from upstairs and she's like, stop calling your sister, put everything down. Westgate is under siege. I come to Westgate, to the rescue tent, look at the lists, other friends of mine. Everybody is dashing everywhere to the hospitals. Morgue was the thing I never wanted to hear.
Yeah.
My mom, she fainted actually, and on Sunday evening, it's now when she came to realize that she was on a hospital bed. And again, she was shattered after she finds her child lying lifelessly, shot very badly.
Walking to one of the trees that you planted. Whose tree was that?
That tree is in memory of Ruhila Datlisi.
Yeah.
She was a radio presenter.
Yeah.
And in fact, this symbolizes 2 lives lost because she was expecting at that time.
Yeah.
I was there for a cooking competition at the rooftop of the mall. And, you know, my mom and sister were there to support me. Friends and family had come through to support us as well. The competition didn't even get to start because the siege had broken out. So
Yeah. I chatted with you before we started rolling this, and you said something about survivor's guilt. What's that, and how does it come about?
it's a complicated thing because, like I mentioned, the people who came to support us at the competition, I had a lot of friends and quite popular. So there's people who come out there, and it was like one of my mom's friends. In fact, she really admired my sister and I, and she sat in that exact spot to support me. And, you know, to think that that lady died on that chair where my mum would have been. If maybe I didn't have those people come to the mall, they would still be alive today. It's kind of...
That is such a heavy burden to take on yourself.
It is.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for that.
Yeah.
In modern day Kenya,
Yeah.
young people your age, I won't ask your age, you know, never ask a woman her age.
Yeah.
People your age, I assume your age, have been faced with terrorism charges just for going out to the streets to fight for a better country, right?
Yeah.
Does that match to what a terrorist can actually do?
No. And it's wrong to just use the term so lightly. When, you know, when you think of terror, and you think of war-torn areas like Palestine, the situation today, for some people who have been in these situations, it may be triggering to see images like that, or, you know, but that's their reality. They're living through that terror. So if you want to know what terror is, you look at an innocent child's eyes and you see terror. And then the terrorist is the person who's inflicting that, causing that destruction without remorse, without the consequences, you know, and for their own self, you know, for their own agenda. It's wrong. That's terrorism.
So I'm on my way to Kikuyu town, where a number of young people were actually arrested, and they were linked to cases of arson and destruction of government property. But interestingly was that their charge was terrorism. So let's just go and see how their life has changed since then.
Mimi nilitoka nyumbani kitu kama 6:40 kuna kuja kutengeneza rent yangu na kununua sapa. Juu wakati nilifika hapo kwa east nje kwa hapa chini, kiona kuja hivi nikamwambia ukijaribu kuendelea tena nakupiga. So ikabidi sana mimi, so I'm so young, ikabidi tu nisalimu amri. Akasema
ulijaribu kuambia au kuwa umeenda maandamano? Yeah. Wakasema nini?
Wakasema hataki kusikia hizo story. Wakasema hizo ni maneno za mamangu.
I reported to work as usual. So around 10-11 a.m. that's when demonstrations started. So we had to close. They were like forcing us. We were two, me and another dude. I didn't know him, but he was helping me. I was not feeling well that day, so he was the one helping me, you know.
So when they were arresting you, what did they say?
They point a gun at me. They tell me, if you run, they're gonna shoot you.
Siko hata nakula. Juu kitu kwanza, angalia familia wenye hawajui pale niko. Juu nilikuwa nimekaa wiki mbili bila kupiga simu yote, bila any communication. Nimetupa chance mingi sana juu hiyo siku yenyewe nilikuwa nimepata sponsor fulani ya kuenda pale pengine, nilikuwa naenda USA. Nilikuwa nasomea mechanic. So kakuwa saa sitaenda, nitakaa hapa tu.
After like two weeks, unaenda court. Yeah, after like 2 weeks, unaenda court. It's draining.
Hii maisha ni magumu sana. Kama mimi mwenyewe lasile hiyo yenye tulikuwa kotini, nilitumia 700. Na kwa siku ukiangalia kwa siku, kuna wakati mwingine naenda selling nakosa ama napata. Kama 700 pia yenyewe hata nilifanya fuliza kwa simu yangu, na zingine pia zenyewe nikaomba ili at least nifike wapi, nifike kotini.
Listening to them, you can tell they're still traumatized and dealing with the weight of what they went through when they were arrested. They've also either lost opportunities, lost their jobs, and they still have to constantly carry the weight of going to court every other time, and that just has a lot of weight on them.